Hi travelers, Tara here. I'm coming to you today with an open reading. I don't know about you guys, but there's just a weird kind of a vibe going on, um, as if the world is waiting for something, to something. I don't know what it is. And I think what's so strange, at least in my experience, what's happening for me is this year has just flown by. And then suddenly everything just kind of screeched to a halt. Now, many of you hear me talk about the Mercury retrograde, and a lot of y'all like, that's just crap. I don't believe it. But if you pay attention to what's happening on a local scale, on a regional scale, like, statewide, countywide, district-wide, on a national scale, and on a global scale, you will see the effects of the Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius. Website members, I posted up an article for you a couple of weeks back. Go back and read that article and then think about some of the things you've been seeing, or that you've been experiencing, or that you've been hearing about, and you can actually see it at work. Now, for me, because I'm a Virgo sun, that's ruled by Mercury, and a Gemini moon, that's ruled by Mercury, I be getting the double whammy. So for me, how that plays out is I end up, all of my plans that I end up having, and y'all, if anybody knows Virgo, you know we don't do nothing but make plans. Everything just kind of goes out the window, and I can't, it's as though I can't really complete anything, because something will, when I start something, something else will interrupt me, and I have to stop and pay attention to that. So it plays out for me, and my car's not working. Let me see what else. I don't even know what else is going on. It's just nuts. So anyway, I'm going to get that thing fixed. It's like every time I'm like, oh yeah, today's the day, then it rains or something like that. And that's another mark of Mercury retrograde. It brings bad weather, fires, terrorist attacks, delayed plane. And we're moving into the holiday season. So you guys make your plans, B, C, D, and E, and try to go with the flow. Make sure you get some cash if you're traveling. I would just get some cash if, if I were you. So I want to make a couple of announcements. I'm going to shamelessly plug myself and my site. I have, for one thing, I done changed the login for the website memberships. Hell, I don't know where it is. Hold on, let me look. Hold on one second. I've been doing some, what do you call it? Some looking, changing some things around. Hold on one second. Oh yeah, okay. So it's up on the black bar on the menu, the main menu, and it is, it says premium member login. So that's where you're going to log in. And the reason why I changed that is because I am offering, I put up a new membership, and this is a 1-day, 24-hour access for $2.37. So for those of you who may have been curious about what's going on over on my website, this will give you 24-hour access. You get access to one video gallery, and you get access to limited articles. So what happens is if you go over, you click the link, you'll read everything. Once you submit your payment, you should get a welcome email. You should get an email with the instructions on what you're supposed to do and how you can access your articles. This is the Mercury retrograde. So if you decide to do that, and you don't receive the email, there is a link on the actual membership page. Once you click the link, you can find this. All membership information has been moved to the home page. So when you go to the home page, the very first page of the site, scroll down near the bottom of the page and you'll see all of that. You just click the links underneath and that'll take you where you need to go. So for this new 24-hour access membership, if you don't receive your instructional email after the fact, simply go back to the support desk link on the menu, click it, and then email me and I'll forward you that information, because I don't know if it's going to work. I've been trying to test it and I can't. It's just, I don't know. So anyway, that's the first thing. The second thing, you do not, oh yeah, you do not get access to birth charts or ebooks or the other galleries. That does require a premium membership, okay? And there's 3 levels of premium membership. But this is just 24 hours. You get 24 hours to go in and kind of look around to see what's there, like that. So let's see. What's the other thing? For those of you premium members who haven't logged in a bit, there's a new video in the Metaphysical Gallery, how to make one of these lamps. I've got a couple of more videos that I'm going to try to get up within the next couple of weeks. I have Akashic Records are on sale, 10% off. Etheric cord cuttings are on sale, $5 off. And then I have extended, I had a couple of people contact me once I took the December video special down. So I put it back up. But December 22nd is it, people. I'm telling you, it's it. So that's a 1 question reading that you get with me, and you get to download it and keep it. Okay. So that's what I have for you. Let's see. I've got some more articles coming up and some more videos, but just kind of bear with me because I'm coming in going at the same time. So anyway, I've done some pre-shuffling on these cards. Eventually, I'm going to make myself an introductory video at the top so that I can explain all of this stuff to people. But anyway, new subscribers, thank you so much for joining. You should come over, think about come over and taking advantage of that 1-day access. And that's going to be something that's permanent. So in each month when the videos will change in that gallery, you get access to it for 1 day, okay? And of course, any other articles that are, new articles that are posted up uncategorized. So let's just lay these cards down. Oh, those people who are getting their asteroid reports from me, I said it was going to be the weekend. I'm going to have to extend that out. So I will email you with an update on that later today. Okay. I apologize for that. All right. Here we go. 9 cards down. The Empress. The 2 of Cups. Wow. The King of Cups. Whoa. Somebody. Ooh la la. There's the Queen of Cups. Isn't this interesting? The 7 of Wands. The 9 of Pentacles. Wow. The World card. There's our Saturn. The 9 of Swords. There's our Gemini card. And the 3 of Pentacles. Well, that's an interesting spread. Huh. I have 2 9s. And most definitely what I'm looking at is a couple. Let's see what's under the deck. Well, people. Dun, 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 dun. The Knight of Wands. This is our overall energy. Well, whew, I was glad because this weird energy, I was thinking to myself, this is going to be ugly reading, but it's actually kind of good on the surface. Please keep in mind that this is male, female, same-sex, heterosexual. It will not resonate with everyone. That does require a personal reading, okay? There's so many people that come and view my channel. It's impossible for me to, be specific to your situation. I mean, come on, for real. So right in the center, I have I have 2 major arcana cards. Now, past, present, future, interplay of the cards. This is our overall energy, okay, of the reading. And what this tells me is that there is an event coming up. One that will be coming up quite quickly, quite suddenly, very soon. But this also may be some kind of message or news. That is what nights represent. They do bring messages and news, but they also speed along situations and events. And that's kind of weird, being that that we are under this Mercury retrograde. But if you look at it, what's the date today? Today's the 15th. Mercury stations back direct on the 22nd. Okay. But it's going to still be kind of slow all the way up until January 10th. We also have a new moon in Sagittarius on the 17th in just a couple of days. On the same day, December 22nd, that Mercury stations direct, Saturn will be stationing to move direct and moving into its ruling sign. So maybe we have this. Okay, there's our Saturn card. So I have these two major arcana. And the major arcana they take more sway, they hold more sway over all of the other pip cards here. The pip cards are numbered cards: 2 of cups, 9 of coins, 7 of wands, 9 of coins, 9 of swords, 3 of coins. We have 2 court cards. We have a king of cups and a queen of cups. Now, normally, traditionally, what I'm looking at when I see this is a couple. So let's say, for instance, maybe you're a water sign female, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Your husband or your spouse or your partner will resonate with that same energy. So they would show up as a water sign, and vice versa. Okay. But most definitely, I'm looking at a couple. Now, this Empress, she represents Venus. Right now we have what? I think Venus in Sagittarius, maybe, might even be in Scorpio. Hell, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, people. Let me take a look at let me see today where the placements are, and I can tell you what's what and what's where. Yes, Venus is in Sagittarius. And what is so interesting is that today it conjuncts the Mercury card, which we know that Mercury is in. Venus is at 17 degrees Sagittarius, and Mercury is at 17 degrees Sagittarius, but retrograde, meaning that it is stopped at this particular degree. It's traveling backwards, so it has gone back to 17 degrees. Conjunction meaning that they sit at the same degrees. For those of you who have your charts, your astrology primers, let me see what else is going on. We also have Pluto. No. Well, Pluto is, no, it's not. I was going to say it was opposite, but it's not. It's not opposing anything. So let me see. And then we have Apollo conjunct Mars in Scorpio, 2 degrees. Apollo is at, I think that's Apollo. Hold on. I don't even know, because there's 2 of them that look the same. I think it is. It's Apollo. Okay. So for those of you who have their access to your asteroids, we know that Apollo was the rock star god. He had great powers of healing. He did music. You know, people wore their hair like him. He is the grandson of Jupiter. And he's sitting next to Mars at 3 degrees Scorpio. Mars in Scorpio is the strongest placement to have Mars. So right now, this can be about, Apollo could be that energy of meeting someone who just shines, who, you know, is like brilliant, knows lots of things. Sometimes Apollo can be somebody who's bisexual. Mars is the god of speed, heat, war, aggression. He's in Scorpio, so this could either be that kind of passionate sexual relationship with someone, or it can be because it rules other people's money. We see this 3 of coins here, that this could be about the concept of meeting someone that you're going to be able to, who might be able to help you along with some kind of work project or financial project. Okay, that's just general. Venus. Here's Venus. And go back and read, if those of you website members, go back and read Venus and Sagittarius. All you got to do is go to the look it up and type in Venus and Sagittarius, and that will pull it up for you. There's specific articles on that, even particularly if you have that particular placement. And so what the Empress is here. Now, this is what's funny about this card. She does represent the planet Venus, but she also represents the sign, the asteroid of Ceres, the goddess of agriculture. So Venus is about your personal possessions. It is about abundance and fertility and growth. Um, having enough so that your cup runneth over, harvesting, doing work and receiving back the good, the fruits of the earth. So she could also be about hard labor. But if she is presenting herself as Ceres across here, Ceres is that energy of how do I divide up time and space and property and things so that everybody gets what they want. How do I, if I'm taking more on than I should, how can I work it out so that I can get somebody else to come in and help me? I can divide up those duties or divide up those things, and I can, in sharing that, we can both get what we want. I get more time for myself. Maybe that person gets something that they need to do. This could be even as something as simple as sharing a cubicle in an office with somebody. Maybe you've been wanting to work a few days at the office and then a few days at home. Well, if somebody else moves in to share a job position with you, that will give you that opportunity. So what I'm looking at is some kind of abundance in terms of most definitely a partnership here with this Two of Cups, with this King of Cups. Now, I'm not exactly sure if you have met this person or if this person is already in your life. He does fall on this past row, okay? But he also falls on the future vertical column. So for many of you, this could be somebody coming up for you. For some of you, this may be the idea or the concept that this is somebody that you already know. The Two of Cups is that relationship really about sharing. It is that relationship where you just gel on every level. Now, this is not always a romantic relationship. It could just be that kind of partnership with somebody. I'm a big Steely Dan fan. Walter Becker unfortunately passed away last month, but he and Donald Fagen were together for almost 30 years. That's longer than some marriages I know, right? So it could be that kind of partnership. It doesn't always have to relate to something romantic. It's just really about that energy of being with somebody who really, really gets you. And the two of you together, the energy that you create is most positive and most beneficial. Okay? Now, across this, we have this Queen of Cups. And she is really focused, or has been focused, on her own, I think, emotional needs, or her own emotional balance. I think she's also very focused in terms of whatever her intuition is telling her. And I sense that this has something to do with work or some kind of project for this queen. We see that the World card says that she's coming near the end of a cycle. Okay, there is no timing in the tarot. She's coming to the end of a cycle. So for some of you, this may have already occurred. For some of this is the last that you're going to have to go through. For others of you, this will be coming up. And we see that this queen is really trying to stay, well, she's kind of got her back to this, but this is the card of trying to stand your ground. Okay, remember I was talking to you at the beginning about how, for me, the energy can be that of, like when I'm trying to do something, then something else comes up. So I've got all of these things coming up from, it may be naysayers, people telling you can't do something, or just having a lot of irons in the fire, and all you're trying to do is just, stake out your ground and deal with these things one thing at a time, or kind of beat them back or slow them down. That's difficult to do when you've got Mars in play, because Mars can speed things up, but underneath the Mercury retrograde, it can create a lot of chaos and confusion, backwards and forwards, things not going right, plans falling apart, people changing appointments and scheduling and things like that on you. the kids getting sick all of a sudden out of the blue. So it could be any number of things, right? But I do feel that this particular queen is really she's focused on this Nine of Pentacles. Now, the Nine of Pentacles is the card about not allowing this Seven of Wands to beat you down. In other words, don't extend too much of your energy. Focus on those things that you can actually get done, and prioritize. Everything else can, without losing the main objective or the main goal. And why do I say that? Because we see that this is the woman who, she's tamed. That's a hawk. She's tamed that hawk. Okay. So, how does she keep it? She puts blinders on it. Okay. And then when she wants to release that and get a bird's eye view, literally, she takes the hood off and sends the hawk out. Okay. The hawk may come back with something for her. Maybe it's bringing messages. Who the hell knows? But the Nine of Pentacles is the card about really, really taming your wild instincts. If there's emotional issues, if there's time issues, if there's conflict issues with people, just really trying to get a handle on that. And if you can do that, you are going to end up in a pretty good place. You see, she's got those pentacles hanging around. This is about dedicated hard work. This is one of the Mercury in Virgo or Venus in Virgo. I can't remember which planet this represents, what time frame. But this could also, you see that normally there's a snail there. Now, this could be about some of you wanting to move home. But what I'm picking up this time is that this is about things moving slowly for you, and about also putting in those safeguards and those protections. Why snails carry their homes? They got those protective shells. So this is really about putting in those kind of safeguards and going through something slowly, staying focused on the main goal, the main objective, no matter what this seven is talking about. As we can see, the World card says you're near the end of that cycle. But some of you have some kind of fear and anxiety about this. Now, the other message that's coming through is that this could be the idea or the concept that there may be a third party in this situation. Okay? Sometimes the Empress can be that fecund female, that very powerful female. She is all woman and she knows it. Okay? So this could very well be that some of you, we see this right here, this King of Cups, Queen of Cups, the Three of Pentacles. These two people trying to come together to build something, but there's some kind of anxiety or worry here, some insomnia. Maybe some of you aren't sleeping well. We see that some of you are having difficulty getting together. That's what that's telling me. And this could be the Empress now, could be that concept or that idea that things are coming together for this king, because sometimes the Two of Cups is about finding that balance in yourself. Okay? What's interesting is that for one of these, for the king here, whether male or female, same-sex, heterosexual, whomever's going to take the role of the male, they themselves are struggling through some end of a cycle, some karmic thing, trying to play out or trying to get over this particular hump. Why? Because Saturn is a not yet. Okay, there's still some lessons to be learned here. And so what Saturn's asking you to do is roll your sleeves up and get that work done. You are, in a sense, protected by that. You see, she's in the laurel wreath. Okay. Divine protection. For some of you, this could be the concept or the idea of a nodal shift. There we have true north node in Leo, true south node in Aquarius. This could be the concept of somebody coming back around or a situation coming back around. Maybe some of you are worried that this won't happen. Now, let me go to the 2 nines. That's the first thing I want to give you. I can tell you that 2 nines, and what are the 2 nines? The 9 of coins and the 9 of swords. Now, swords represent thoughts, perceptions, beliefs, ideas, and communication. Coins can represent finances, property, but also your physical surroundings, your physical body. But they also represent what you are doing, the details of what you're doing and how you are doing it. Okay. And maybe this is saying that there's somebody that's going to be showing up for some of you who's really going to come in to assist you with whatever it is you've been struggling with. That's always a good thing. But again, put in your own safeguards. So in case the worst happens. So let me go to, what am I looking at? I don't even know. Here we go. Remember I said that for some of you, 2 9s speak to a possible change of address, house move. The other interpretation of the 2 9s is that one of you needs to spend some time alone. And maybe this is what we see, that there's really some struggle and strife between, and some of you are trying, are very worried that whatever this 7 represents may split you guys up, or you may have to leave. Remember, Ceres? Sometimes you literally have to walk away and divide something up. Okay. That's why your asteroid report is so important, because it can show you how you handle situations. The asteroid, depending on the sign in the house, can show you how you handle a particular situation when these asteroids come into play. Now we see over here this abundance and this finally getting to that point. It's almost a 10. So and this could be what the situation is. Maybe some of you have decided maybe you are going to leave a partner, okay, for whatever reason, and you've been working really hard to shore up your own thing. You're about to be able to move out of there, okay? The other interpretation of 2 9 is one of you, I said, that needs to spend some time alone. Now, what I want to do is let me pull up my little book here. I'm going to see if I can get any information with these pip cards, the 2 of Cups and the 7 of Wands and the 9 of Pentacles, next to the Empress and the World card. And then look at this 9 of Swords next to the World card. So let's start with the 2 of Cups, shall we? Okay, doesn't tell me anything being next to now, let me read you the 3 things. The 2 of Cups can be telling of a reconciliation in an existing relationship that has undergone some difficulties, tests, and trials. It may be signifying contractual agreements and or meetings between business partners is imminent. It indicates good, solid ideas that pass between 2 people and shows a balance of ideas and plans with a kindred soul. The 2 of Cups can represent the giving and receiving of energies between 2 people. It says, if you are in an ongoing or long-term relationship, there will be renewed communication and passion. Now, since it falls up here, I dare say that has not occurred for some of you. You may be trying to work through that right now. All right. Let me take a look now at the I gotta arrange this better. The 7 of Wands. Oh, not on the Mercury retrograde. I can't do it. Okay. Nothing next to either the Empress or the World card. The 7 of Wands is an indication that the person in question, if you have any questions about somebody, is of good character and has the strength to hold their own against all opposition. That's what I say. No matter what's happening in this card, you're in a better position than you realize. Why? You're standing above the fray. The rest of it may be making you nutty, but, you know, you're above the fray. It can indicate a soul with a strong character and a great inner strength. It can indicate one who is able to stand strong in the face of adversity, and it may indicate that the struggle may be in the person's mind. It tells of renewed, of new competitions to be faced, and courage will be necessary. But it doesn't tell me anything about being here. Now, let me look at this 9 of Pentacles. whatever this thing is, I sense that it is coming to an end. It tells of a time when you have made great achievements, and it is warranted that you should feel pleased and satisfied with the current things in your life. It can indicate an unexpected increase in outcome, receiving a win, an inheritance, or an unexpected gift. Remember I said maybe somebody coming in to help you? That's a gift. It may even be indicating that some money owed to you will be repaid in full. It tells of the satisfaction which stems from personal achievement. It implies a state of physical and emotional well-being, which is fostered by an awareness of one's own achievements. There's that hawk, buckling, knuckling down and getting it done. Let's see if it tells me next to the World card. Indicates that you are ready to move on to the next step along your path. It tells of major moves, relocations, huge lifestyle changes. It also tells of extensive journeys or travel that will be beneficial in the long term. Isn't that something? Wow. I always learn. I love doing readings because I always learn something. And that's the Nine of Pentacles now, next to the World card. Goes over that way. I always learn something whenever I do any kind of reading for anybody. I always learn something new. The tarot's always showing me something new. Now let's look at this thinking 10 of Swords. Okay? I mean 9 of Swords. Am I on the 10? I have got to, yes, I have got to do this better. But not under a Mercury retrograde. It's just not going to work. Let's see. Okay. Let me give you the meaning here. The Nine of Swords implies that either yourself or someone close to you may be going through a time of inner conflict, anger, and or mental anguish. Or you may be asked to share in someone else's suffering and offer comfort and support. It tells of an unfortunate set of circumstances and or inconsolable unhappiness and deep personal loss. It asks that you look at what you have in your life and stop feeling negative and sorry for yourself. Health-wise, it may be indicating a serious illness or major operation. When the Nine of Swords appears, you are asked to check. Oh, wait, that's for me. It can also imply, it may be forewarning of a serious illness and operation surgery. And it may also imply the death of a loved one. But, you know, I don't know. That's not the energy that I'm getting off of this. The energy that's kind of coming off of this is fear of the future and the inability to relax and getting anxiety, sleeplessness, and depression. That's really the energy that's coming off the card for me. You know, anything's possible. Let's take a look. I'm just going to look at 2 cards here. The ones that kind of are the ugliest. And that would be this 7 of Wands and this 9 of Swords. Let's see what these Sabilas have to tell us. You know, I get the sense that for some of you, someone is you're going to hear from someone this Knight of Wands, and it may be the timing of this might be after December 22nd. But please keep in mind, whenever that Knight of Wands, just as quickly as something happens, is as quickly as it can dissipate. Okay, so if this is about meeting somebody new, some of you may be meeting somebody new. I don't see any aces here. I honestly do believe that this is somebody that you already know. We do have Asclepius. Asclepius is in Aquarius. Hygeia just moved into Aquarius, as did Juno just moved into Aquarius. And I have Juno in Aquarius. So I have a conjunction going on today. Aquarius is the sign of brotherhood and sisterhood, the community, groups, networks, friends. So this, as I said, with this Two of Cups here, this really is an indication that, you know, if it's somebody from your past, it's somebody that you had a real affinity with, whether this is romantic or business. Well, what does this read like? It reads like the stanza. That's the card of communication. Nobody being there. Okay, and if you look, there is no messages here. Mercury's in retrograde. Consolante sorpresa. Okay, so I'm not getting the answers that I need. You know, I'll accept that, and I'm just going to go ahead and struggle on and maintain my focus and do whatever it is I need to do. I'm really not in that bad of a position anyway. The Vedaval. Now, this is interesting to me because the Vedaval is about the man tied to his past. So, two things with this Vedaval. The Vedaval says that if this is about someone that you haven't spoken to or had any communication with, the person themselves are struggling with what has happened, okay? At this point, I think both people, if this is the case, if there's a separation or a lack of communication, both people at this particular point are struggling with the idea that that's okay. Got it? It's not the Morte card. The Morte card says that crap would be over, right? Now, this could be somebody that you had a falling out with 15 years ago. That's how the cards work. And maybe you get an opportunity to heal that. That's what Asclepius does. He's a healer. Anybody related to Jupiter is a healer. They all come with opportunities and the ability to heal. Okay? Even if you have to agree to disagree. I don't think so, though. Something is after all is said and done, something is trying to be built here. And maybe this is somebody struggling with trying to come back to say whatever it is they need to say. I don't know. I just read damn cards. All right. The Gran Consolazione. Now look. You have the consolante sorpresa. The consolante, this is a consolation. Okay, whatever. I'll just go ahead and accept that. Okay. It's not really what I wanted or how I wanted it, but okay. But what we look at here, the Gran Consolazione, this is about success and happiness and peace achieved after a long, long time. We see these cards of trying to really work through that, right? So you see somebody's dreaming of that. They're fantasizing of that. Isn't that interesting? Now, guess who shows up? The Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter. Huh? 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 The Belvedere. Great foresight and planning. Now, looking ahead. Now, this tells me two things. Someone is worried that it may be too late. But the Wheel of Fortune comes in to give you an opportunity to fix that. It's all going to depend, I think, on what that Knight of Wands is all about. So, wow, that's great. So, formulate one question. You know, and it's not necessarily that you have to, let's say if somebody that you're dealing with is a water sign male and you guys had a real affinity, you would show up like that Queen of Cups. So it doesn't necessarily mean per se that because they're two water signs that they are actual water signs. That is the energy between these two people. We saw that with the Two of Cups, okay? Before y'all get all pissy. That didn't have nothing to do with me. You know, the tarot sometimes does not, it doesn't speak in specifics, black and whites, okay, or you know, it doesn't even speak in grays really. It just offers, it's a transparent thing, okay. Can't even explain any different than that. formulate one question. Those December videos, you do get access if you purchase that one-day video pass. You get access to the December monthly gallery. That's the one you get. So if you know. All right, here we go. One card. Holy smokes. I want you to please keep in mind, as I said before, this is a general reading. There is no way that this is going to apply to every single one of you, okay? Or your specific situation. That requires a personal reading. So I don't want anybody crying saying, well, she said this, that was my situation, and she said this, and then it doesn't happen. Wheel of Fortune. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. The card is romance. Isn't that lovely? That is just a lovely, lovely energy. Let's see here. Told you my card's been talking. A very important relationship is about to enter or has recently entered your life. This is the romance you have been waiting for. Like all partnerships, there may be ups and downs, but do not let that deter you or shake your confidence. That's a 9 of coins. Have faith that love is coming into your life to stay. If your question was about a current relationship, you can expect the parties to become closer to one another. Past disagreements will fade away and trust will grow. All relationships have peaks and valleys. This card indicates an upward movement to a new level of dedication and intimacy. There's the Juno card, because she's about commitment. This can include engagement, marriage, or a form of recommitment to one another. Ooh, Lord. Well, that's what I have for you. Come over and join me on the website. Join that one-day pass access. Take advantage of those sales. This is what I do at the end of the year every year to try to give you guys a little bit of give back. And until next time, namaste. Oh, where's my thingy? Bye. Mercury retrograde.